Hello everyone, I'm back. I haven't posted a video in a long time, but I'm going to make another one. We're playing Dropzone today. This is Rich of Green Stuff Industries.
How do you not know that?
There's also Green Man Industries, and I thought that I was going to say the wrong one, and I just stopped myself. So, Green Stuff Industries, you should check out his website. He makes lots of cool terrain for Dropzone and other things. We're at Endgame Oakland. We'll be playing the Careful Advance mission out of the Reconquest Phase 2 book. And for this mission, there were 3 objectives, there, and there. You deploy out of the corners. Objectives, as normal, are 1 point if you control them at the end of the game, 2 points if you can get them all the way off the board. There's also 2 critical locations, here and here. These are new to Reconquest Phase 2, where, was it turn 3? You start scoring?
4 and 6 typically.
Sorry. Turn 4 and turn 6, if you control them, you score. So these are different from focal points where you only score them at the end of the game.
And it's the person who has the majority of material.
So you can't contest them? There's no contesting either. Okay. Yep, so that's the mission. I'll be playing Resistance. Excuse me. Rich has PHR, and we'll be back in a second with our... Hey. We also just realized the game's over. We're putting this at the beginning. Critical locations don't work by scoring on turns 4 and turn 6. That's how you score them in Dropfleet, and we've been playing a lot of Dropfleet recently. So we just played this whole game with critical locations that only scored on turn 4 and 6.
My fault.
No, my fault too. I should have known. I should have looked it up or something. So critical locations normally score turns 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got that wrong, but just enjoy this video knowing that we are playing with Dropfleet critical locations, and sorry about that.
All right, for my PHR, I have a Njord with the 2 Heras. There's a Vizier in one of the Heras and 2 Apollos. For a second battle group, I have 2 squads of 1 Phobos each. Third battle group, I have a pair of Helios and a Neptune. A pair of snipers and a Triton, unarmed. Fourth, I have a walking Medusa. Triton with squad of Sirens in it, and a Triton with a squad of Valkyries in it, and a what is it? I forget what that's called. The Neptune variant with 2 Odins in it.
What is it called? I completely forgot.
I want to call it an Aether, but that's not it. And then Aegeon.
Aegeon. There we go.
And then final is a fast mover, the Athena.
For my Resistance, I have a Thunderstorm Custom with a level 2 commander and a single Typhoon, 3 gun wagons and a Kraken, a potpourri squad of 3 Jacksons, 1 with occupation vets, 1 with resistance fighters, and 1 with berserkers, all on a lift talk with AA. 1 squad of occupation vets and 1 squad of resistance fighters in battle buses inside a Kraken. 2 Zukovs in a lift talk with AA, 3 Thunder Wagons drive on, and 2 Hellhogs with extra ammo. Start of turn 1, Rich won the roll-off, made me go first, and we rolled for our fast movers, and Rich's Athena is in, and my Hellhogs are not. So I have to deploy accordingly. Alright, I activated my gun wagons because I needed to protect against his fast mover that's active, and these are the only ones who could shoot on turn 1. They moved in off the edge here and spread out to give me some AA coverage.
Alright, I took my Aegeon with the Odins, brought it in, full speed, and we're right here.
Alright, I activated my Zukovs, brought them in with the left talk here and dropped them off, and then the Thunder Wagons drove on from the board edge.
Alright, the Phobos came on next. The 2 separate squads just walked on and overlapped firing us.
Alright, I moved my Thunderstorm Custom on. It's here, because the thing's so massive it's kind of hard to fit. And then my... God, what is the thing called again? Typhoon. It's right there. And it went to the deck to hide behind the building, and that way it has AA cover from these guys in case he tries to get smart with the Athena.
Alright, did the long reach team group here to the deck, entered the building, hopefully get that objective, and then the Helios, the other side, the Neptune jumped forward, dropped the Helios behind this building.
Alright, I activated my battle buses with the infantry in them. The hovercraft went here, buses got out, and the occupation vets and resistance fighters got in the building to try to find the objective.
Alright, this battle group with the Valkyries and the Sirens and the Medusa all piled in.
Alright, I took my lift talk full of infantry and I moved it full move 16 inches to there, went to the deck. And what I'm thinking about is I don't think he has a way to pressure my backline here, so I think these guys are safe to look for this objective. So I want to try to make a rush for the middle objective, because he's committed all of his infantry in that building on turn 1. It'll be interesting, though, because I think he can outfight me in close combat. So we'll see how this pans out.
Alright, my next activation is the Njord moving forward and dumping out the command squad. Okay, for the Athena, I rolled to bring it on, came in at this point, fired a stealth cruise missile at that building over there and rolled horribly. There's no reaction fire because I'm at a range pretty much everything, so you know I did 2 points to the building and no falling masonry, unfortunately.
Cool. All right, start of turn 2. Nobody played any cards. I won the roll-off, amazingly, despite the fact that I have a level 2 commander at a riches 4. And one of my Hellhogs came on. All right, so I activated my Typhoon and my Thunderstorm. Typhoon was here, and it peeked around the corner, and I was going to use that nifty ability where it can shoot long-range targets on the ground against his Helios, and then I wanted to keep it at the deck, and I rolled Snake Eyes, and it just died. So it's dead. Then the Thunderstorm moved over here. That's it.
For this activation, I dropped off the Odins because I didn't want his
Gun
wagons running up and destroying them in the air, basically.
Alright, I activated my Zukovs over here. They just positioned, got out of the way of the Thunder Wagon. The Lift Hawk went over here to provide some AA cover and also get line of sight. Then I took my Thunder Wagons, shot one of them. I tried to fire at the Apollos, but they were out of range over there. So instead I fired at the Odins, and I scattered and missed.
So the plan was to snipe out, have the guys go to the wall, the snipers go to the wall, and snipe out his Thunder Wagons over here, but I rolled horribly and only did 1 point of damage to each Thunder Wagon. The other side of the plan was to bring a Neptune forward, the Helios Neptune, and try to take out one of the gun wagons, but that also didn't work out.
And the objective?
And I failed to find the objective.
Alright, activated my infantry. They searched for stuff, didn't find anything, went to the wall, and then the buses moved up a bit behind it.
All I did was march the Phobos a little to the right.
Alright, well, so Hellhog's dead, but it was here. I did an attack run, and I found a vector where I could shoot the Phobos once, only get reaction fire once before I got to shoot, and his Helios would not be able to support. So that was a great attack vector. The problem is that he rolled awesome, and I did not roll awesome. So I got 6 hits, comboed them up, did a single big attack, and did 1 damage to it, and then he blew up my Hellhog. So Hellhog's dead.
Alright, that was the command group. I brought the Njord up, took some shots at his Thunder Wagons, missed pretty much everything, or hit, did damage, but then he had resilience.
I had a resilience card, yep.
And brought one guy back, so there was no change there. So then I jumped up my command squad, tried to kill a transport, one of the buses, the big bus, and then the other front Thunder Wagon. Turns out I needed every shot I could to get the Thunder Wagon. I did end up eventually killing it, but just barely. And the transport survived unscathed.
Alright, I'm going to reposition my gun wagons behind this building to try to get him out of line of sight because he's got Odins and stuff coming. And they're really outgunned and there's nothing to shoot in the air. And then I took their Kraken back here and I just used it to hide the Thunder Wagon to try to keep it alive so I can shoot its missile next turn.
Okay, bit of a quandary for me. I was hoping I could get across to this building in the middle with my Sirens and my Valkyries, but it turns out I can't. And my Medusa couldn't do it either because I guess their exit movement is always 2.
Yeah, because they don't have a special rule for exiting buildings.
Yeah.
So
I had to kind of adjust things, which means Cameron's going to get to be occupier on the center building probably this activation.
Activated my Lift Hawk full of infantry. I took a shot with my rocket and did 1 damage to his Valkyries over there and inside the building. And then went over here, dropped off all the Jacksons, and put all the infantry inside the building.
Okay, so I followed my own advice. I brought the Athena on, used a cruise missile on the center building, just inside of the 45-degree mark, just across this corner, kissed the corner, fired at the building, did 8 damage, and scored 4 falling masonry, and killed
4 berserkers and 1 occupation vet.
Yes.
Start of turn 3, Rich won the roll-off. Nobody played any cards, and my Hellhog came in from reserve.
Okay, my first activation was the snipers. I fired from this wall at his remaining Thunder Wagon, which was very hull down, but only had 1 DP left. Rolled 10 dice, got 4 hits, and got the 1 DP I needed to do it. So It died, took a shot at a gun wagon over here with this Neptune, failed completely. I ate stealth missiles.
Alright, so I activated my infantry because I wanted to try to find the objective and get out of there. Fortunately, that didn't happen. Didn't roll very well. So the occupation vets went to this wall, tried to shoot the Hera. I rolled absolutely awful and didn't damage it at all. These guys aren't in range to use their RPGs, and the Berserkers obviously have no guns. But what I've done is to cover 3 walls of this building so we can't embark into the building from any of those 3 directions.
Yep.
Oh, and the transport shot machine gun did nothing to that building back there.
Okay, command group consisting of the Njord and the Hera squad. Njord poked forward 6.5 inches away from the building, so I couldn't get small arms. Fired. The Hera squad fired into the building, trying to just do as much demo as possible.
Killed a bunch of guys, as you can see here.
Killing quite a few
Building's
dudes.
down to 12 damage.
Yeah, and yeah, they did all right.
Well, I brought the Hellhog on. It had 4 observers, so I'd have to roll for it. Nice vector here. His AA there don't have line of sight because of the building that's in the way. It stopped. It unloaded all of its guns on his commander. I got 7 hits, even despite the evasion, and then rolled 2 1s on my focus fires. So nothing, no damage at all.
Okay, so my Athena squad came in trying to kill the Hellhog. Thought I had a good chance. Took some fire from this wagon over here. The wagon did a point. Came in, rolled my 6 dice, got 1 hit, and then rolled a 1 on the damage. So nothing. So the Athena booked it past here and ended up being just barely in range of that Zukov there, which destroyed me.
So the Athena's dead. Activated my infantry over here. They found the objective. The resistance fighters got in their school bus, and their Kraken is making its way off the board. And then the occupation vets got into the double-decker bus and moved forward just a little bit.
Okay, to exact some revenge, hopefully, I walked my Phobos both squads back a little.
I thought he wasn't going to be able to get into line of sight, but I was wrong.
It was 3 inches, so
Yep.
just barely pulled it off past the edge of the thing. So I took a shot, only hit once for some reason, but I did do double damage when I hit.
So it's down to 1 damage. Alright, I activated my Zukovs. They just kind of drove around the corner here. I realized that there was an opportunity for the lift hawk to move up. I should still be out of range of the Phobos, but it was in range to shoot his Tritons. I shot it with the AA gun, missed. Shot the building here with his other guns, and did 2 damage to the Valkyries with falling masonry.
Alright, Odin squad walked up a little bit, took 4 shots at the building there, and did 1 falling masonry for 2 damage and 4 damage to the building total?
4 damage to the building, and you killed 2 berserkers.
Yeah, killed 2.
Activated the gun wagons. They already all shot on reaction fire, so I just moved them up here on the side of the building and moved their Kraken up. That's it.
Okay, just trying to kill guys. The Valkyries went to the wall, the Sirens went to the wall, they all fired at the squads right here, and killed, I think, a total of 6 guys?
Yeah, they were down to 2 left, so they're getting down there.
Yeah, and that was that turn. And the Medusa jumped over here.
I moved the Thunderstorm Custom around the corner. Start of turn 4, I rolled a 6, and so I get to go first. Rich field repaired his Phobos.
Yes.
Alright, since I won the roll-off, I activated these guys. The Berserkers found the objective. The Berserkers everybody got into their Jacksons. One of the Jacksons with the occupation vets moved 3 inches here. The occupation vets re-embarked into this building. The other 2 are inside the lift hawk. The lift hawk moved back at 8 inches, but before it did, it fired all of its weapons at that building there, which did 3 damage to the building and killed 3 Valkyries and fallen masonry.
Okay, in my normal rolling, I moved both Phoboses in, took 6 shots, and only rolled over
2 hits.
3 up twice.
And didn't damage with either one.
No damage, yep.
So I activated the Hellhog, and actually the safest place for it is right here, closer up to him, so the Phobos can't see him very well. I unloaded on the commander there. He played a white nanomachine card, but even with the passive saves he made, I still was able to get a double damage and do 2 damage to the commander.
Okay, command group. The Njord went up here, took some shots at the building.
Killed 1 occupation vet.
1 occupation vet. Hera squad marched forward, took shots at his commander, did 3 damage.
Alright, I activated my commander and played Strike Masters so it could move and shoot 10 So it moved up 10, that was pretty awesome, and then it unloaded, and it did 1 damage to his undamaged Hera there. I was really expecting it to do a lot more damage than that.
So was I. Okay, so the Helios and the long reach team. Long reach team went to the walls because they didn't really have any other target. Fired at his commander, did a point of damage, surprisingly, and the Helios moved up to hopefully provide a little better cover on the board.
Alright, I activated my infantry group over here, they took the objective off the board, and then the occupation vets in the bus moved over here. I don't know what I was thinking, but I shot the Helios, and I would have needed 5s, like 3 5s out of 5 on each occupation vet squad in order to actually combo up and do damage to it, because it's a skimmer. So that was highly unlikely. I didn't roll that. I just messed up. Yeah.
Okay, the Odins lumbered up to secure this critical location, and then took shots at his building over there and killed a couple of occupation vets.
Yep, killed 2. 7 damage to the building. That's it. Activated my gun wagons, moved them up here, shot his dropship, did the damage. The Kraken optimistically tried to shoot the Odin and did nothing.
Okay, seeing as my scout squad doesn't have a whole lot to do right now, I just tried to advance them a little bit, brought them into this building. Valkyries jumped, Sirens used the transport, and then the Medusa took the objective off the table.
Alright, activated my Zukovs. The Lifthawk tried to shoot his Njord with its AA guns, didn't do anything, and fired a rocket at the commander, didn't do anything. The Zukovs fired at the 2 commanders. Rich used the seldomly used, like, allocate shots off of a commander in a squad rule, and actually allocated 2 of the shots off to this guy, the other Hera. One of them did a damage, so that Hera took damage, and the commander's fine. Roundup phase of turn 4. The way we're playing this is that these critical locations score on turns 4 and 6. So Rich gets that one, and I get that one. We each get a point. So start of turn 5, Rich won the roll-off. He played adaptive camouflage on that squad over there, and that's it. Alright, Rich chose to activate his command squad. However, I played quick thinking on my commander, and I blew up his 2 Heras, finished them both off.
Yay. Okay, so what's left of my command group rocked up and took a shot and did nothing. I rolled 6 dice total.
No. You did 3 damage to it.
Oh, I did 3 damage. Oh, that's right. I did 3 damage with the Apollos.
Yeah.
I did 3 damage with the Apollos.
And then the Njord didn't.
And the Njord failed. Rolled 6 dice and rolled 5 ones.
Yeah. Okay. So I was going to activate my Hellhog, but then Rich played a quick thinking and activated his Helios. So go ahead with that.
So the Helios rocked up and murdered his Hellhog pretty handily. I was really nervous about that.
And then the snipers.
And then the snipers fired at his commander and did
1 damage.
1 whole damage.
And now, because the Hellhog would have been my activation and I'd already chosen that, and there's no dead, I believe I no longer get an activation. So we'll be right back with another turn.
Really just trying to do something. If I could get 1 more point of damage out onto his commander, I'd be happy, but I have nothing that can do that, really, except for the Odins, which are way back here. So I just jumped the Valkyries across, took the Sirens, I'm throwing them forward, and tried to see if the Medusa would come back in, but it didn't.
Alright, activated my Zukovs. I thought I was going to do a whole bunch of damage here. So I had one of them shoot at the... Here, let's move this out of the way.
Yep.
One of them shoot at the Triton, missed, rolled a 1. One of them shoot at the Njord, missed, rolled a 1. Then they took their hull-mounted guns and they shot at the Apollo over there. One of them missed, rolled a 1. The other one hit it and then failed to damage it. So, like... That was pretty terrible. I was really hoping to kill a little bit more of his stuff. Anyway.
Well, my offensive options have been severely limited, so I marched those Phobos back over here and fired at this building, hoping to kill some vets, I believe it is.
Yep,
and I did.
Vets. You killed 2 with Falling
2.
Masonry. Alright, I activated my Lifthawk with the 3 infantry squads in it. The occupation vets got in their Jackson because there's only 1 guy left, didn't want to give up the kill point. And the other 2 flew off the board, so I've got 2 objectives now. And that's it.
Okay, so the Odin squad moved up a little bit, killed 2 gun wagons, and then their transport moved up and attempted to do damage to the bus, but utterly failed.
Alright, activated the occupation vets in the bus, they moved up, and they focus fired an Odin and actually blew it up. I got really lucky. So there's 1 Odin left. Alright, start of turn 6, I won the roll-off, which helps because his commander's dead, and I field repaired my Thunderstorm. Activated my commander. I blew up his 2 remaining Apollos who were sitting there, and then I just relocated it to dead center on it to make it really hard for enemy units to get within 3 inches.
Yeah, took the remainder of my command group, which is the Njord, and did my best to murder his commander and was successful.
Yep. Right, I activated the Zukovs. Zukovs moved over here. One of them tried to shoot the Triton, missed again. The other one tried to shoot the Njord, succeeded, finally got a hit, did 2 damage. Then this guy blew up the Triton with his AA gun and did a little bit of, the hull mounted guns on the Zukovs did a little bit of damage to the Valkyries in the building. Alright, snipers.
Snipers tried to kill some Zukovs, only did 1 point to the rear one.
My battle bus with the vets moved up, fired at the Odin, and he just passive saved everything. Alright, we just made a couple final moves for the game. Valkyries moved out here onto the critical location, and he quick jumped his Helios over there, and I ran my Kraken up there. Here we are at the end of the game with our unique scenario here. So just to round it up, I got 2 objectives off, that's 4 points. You got 1 objective off over there, that's 2 points. At turn 4, we each scored 1 point, so that would make it 5-3. And then on the final turn, I won this one over here, so I get 6, and you won this one over here, so you have 4. So the final score was 6-4.
Yep.
Again, we talked about this at the beginning, but we totally screwed up the scoring for how critical locations work because we've been playing Dropfleet too much. We used the Dropfleet objectives instead of the Dropzone ones. So that just tells us we need to play some more Dropzone, and we'll be doing that in the near future. Anyway, what did you think about the game?
I think where it fell apart for me was when I missed. You got the initiative on the building here and scored the objective.
And then put my guys on the walls.
I wasn't too worried about that because I was pretty sure I could bring the building down. And, you know, that would solve that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it would at least be a tie. And then if the building was gone, I could quit thinking about it and just move up and try to kill everything that's over there. But you got out of the building. You won the initiative and got out of the building. And right there, I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to win this.
Yeah, I obviously made some mistakes. My Thunder Wagons did basically nothing. My Typhoon crashed to the deck roll, and I didn't even need to roll it to the deck. I just did it out of habit, and thinking back, like, there was actually nothing that it needed to be to the deck for, so that was a stupid risk. It cost me my Typhoon. What else? I feel like the Hellhogs I was way too aggressive with. I should have just waited to have both of them to try to overwhelm my targets with 2 Hellhogs at once, which is pretty effective. Instead, I was impatient, and I ran in with 1 Hellhog into AA, and I paid the price, and it got killed. So that could have gone better. Also just positioning, I was in my own way in my deployment zone. And in terms of list composition, I was really excited about this list, but it really suffers from not having a scout unit, both for the fact that because I only have a level 2 commander, the Thunderstorm can only affect things within 9 inches. That's my whole command radius. And on a map like this, where you really need to split your forces up, that's not great. And then also, I've got Thunder Wagons, and I need something to spot for them so that they can have a hope of hitting. And I just have no scout units, so there's no way I could ever get a non-penalized roll with them. So yeah, plenty of mistakes. I'm rusty, but I plan to be playing more soon, getting back in the swing of things. How about you? How about your list? Would you have changed it at all? Or?
I quite like my list as it is. There are things that annoy me about PHR, like the stealth missiles and the limited small arms abilities. But you can work around them. It's not that, you know, it's not devastating.
What do you think of the Njord?
I like the Njord. I enjoy having an aircraft that can actually punch things in the face.
Yeah, PHR didn't have gunships until they had no gunships at all until that was released.
Yeah, ever since I started this game, I've hated the stealth missile. My other fun favorite unit are the snipers. I know people on the forums kind of don't like the snipers, but I really enjoy the snipers.
I love the snipers. I mean, occupation vets are awesome tank killers, and if you watched my positioning of the occupation vets this whole game, I basically played this entire game trying to keep the occupation vets out of view of the snipers, because if you show your face, those snipers will just kill you out of the windows. They ignore cover completely. They're energy 7 on infantry, which have, you know, armor 2. So they're just gonna absolutely murder any infantry that shows its face in the window. And if you've got a nice vantage point like that for the whole game, I mean, I have to deploy around that for the entire game. They're really good. And they also go well with a fast mover in this case, because they can be a great forward air controller too. So
because they're already on the wall.
Yeah.
And the like millimeter distance for the Athena was kind of annoying. But that's my own.
Oh, to get the Zukov
yeah,
in range?
I
Yeah.
I would have sworn I was out, but yeah, it was within a millimeter in, I think. But it was a good game.
Yeah.
We both rolled horribly.
Both
we
rolled really badly.
Well. Yeah. You had that one initiative roll, I think. When you
Yeah, I did
because,
disproportionately
yeah.
well for my initiative for having a commander that was 2 levels down. Yeah, I really lucked out
And
there.
that's from the last list we played, that's what I changed, because I had a level 2 commander, and I was like, well, the reason you murdered me last game was you kept getting initiative. I firmly believe you can't let resistance have initiative.
Yeah, because
You've got to pick what you want to, you got to pick which teeth you want to pull before they're able to bite you. Because, yeah, that was the entire last game, was you went first and you marched up and blew something up. I had no real defense. It's just move forward, blow it up, move forward, blow it up, move forward, blow it up. And you've got to be able to pull the teeth.
Yeah, and actually, by adding the Typhoon to this list, I actually made that even more effective this time around with the Thunder Wagons, the Typhoon, the 2 Hellhogs, and the Thunderstorm. Those all have pretty good range, and they're very threatening. We won't see how the Typhoon performs until I play another game, because obviously this time it just crashed into a building on the first turn. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully we'll get some more battle reports in soon. And thanks for watching.